Hey, Pamela Bruner here, and if you've ever felt overwhelmed and intimidated in your business, I think you're going to love this video. See, I was at a conference in New York this past week, and although I loved the conference, I was really overwhelmed and intimidated by New York City. So there were three things I identified that were real problems, and there were three powerful ways I overcame them, and that's what I want to share with you today. So the first thing I experienced as I walked back and forth from where I was staying to where the conference was being held was that I just felt unfamiliar. Like I didn't know what all the streets were. It turns out the little GPS on your phone does not actually work well in New York City. On a tall building, something, who knows. But I really felt on kind of shaky ground compared to the way I feel at home when I'm in my safe and familiar ruts. The second challenge for me was that I bought into some stories, big cities, crime ridden, you want to be careful and all this kind of stuff. And while you might want to be careful, I was buying into a story I didn't necessarily need to buy into. And the third thing that was true was I felt small. Oh my goodness, all these people around, and it was like, how can I ever succeed? Who am I to think I can succeed? There's so many people just here on the streets. So when I looked at those three challenges, I thought, wow, these are really relevant to business. So the first one, when you find yourself doing something unfamiliar, and let me tell you, if you're not doing something unfamiliar, you're probably not stretching far enough in your business. You should be doing unfamiliar things all the time to grow your business. So, but that's uncomfortable, right? When we're doing the unfamiliar. So here's what I came up with instead. I started cataloging my strengths, even if they didn't seem relevant in the moment. So I said, well, I'm a good problem solver, and I'm pretty good at improvisation. Like I can improvise if an unusual situation comes my way. And I kept cataloging my strengths. Your strengths don't have to be the same as mine. You've got your own. But the thing is, when you get into that sort of overwhelming, intimidating whole environment, you start cataloging your strengths, and you'll find new powerful ways to deal with whatever the environment is. The next thing, this whole idea of buying into somebody else's story. So the truth is that 95% of businesses fail in less than 5 years. That's a story. So you can tell yourself there's a 95% chance that you'll fail in 5 years, or you can tell yourself a completely different story that, wow, I am one of the 5%, or some completely other story that you make up. Ask yourself, what is the story that I want to live into? What is my experience that I want to have? Forget other people's stories. I'm going to create my own. The third thing, this whole feeling of being small and wondering what you can do, I realized that there were things that I could do that were powerful, that where I could make a difference, like in one day, today, right here, right now, in this moment, whether it's smiling at someone, helping someone. There was a woman struggling to get across the street with several big bags. I'm like, do you need help with this? Do you want me to pick this up? And she's like, oh, goodness, thank you. Dozens of people were walking by, nobody else offered. So I helped her across the street. No big deal, but it made her day. And that made me feel powerful. Now, is that going to double my business in the next 6 months? Maybe, maybe not. But the feeling of power, that feeling, the feeling of efficacy, the feeling that I can make a difference, that will sustain you. So whether it's you're struggling with this is unfamiliar, or I'm buying into somebody else's story, or I feel small and how can I ever make a difference, remember, catalog your strengths, and then make up your own story, decide on what experience you want to have. And then the third thing is, remember, you can make a difference every single day. So what's the difference you're going to make today? See you next time.